Hello and welcome back. Are you someone who is in panic that your exam is in 2 days? Are you someone who wanna know how the teachers should behave with the children in the school or in the society? Are you someone who is appearing for B.Ed exam in any state and wanna know what are the previous year's questions that were asked through the from the Saheb Ambedkar Education University? So this video is definitely meant for you. So let's begin. In this video, I'm going to cover the 2 marks questions, previous year's questions of the paper of childhood and growing up, and this is the part 2, that is aspects of development. So let's move forward. So the first question is, what is attention? What do you mean by attention? I'm shooting this video, you are watching this lecture. What does it mean? It means you have your attention towards your work. Maybe you list down 2 or 3 works you have to do for this day, and you are doing the first work with your utmost focus, utmost attention. What does it mean? It means you are doing one work at a time and you are most focused for it. So attention is focusing on one work or one area at once. Now what are the characteristics? Now you start thinking, like you are watching this video, what are the characteristics or what are the features? So first feature, maybe I can give you this example in my way. I'm making this video, so I'm having my attention towards making this video. What does it mean? It means it is very simple that I'm focusing at one work at a time. The second thing is I'm very much focused. The third thing is I'm ready to look at the various scenarios, and I'm trying to explain you these things. So this is something like you can say you are utilizing the most of your brain power or thought process into this. So in this way you can think, and in this way you can use your previous knowledge and actually write a very good answer on the answer copy. So the characteristics or the characters of attention are, first of all, readiness. You have to be ready to do one work at a time. Then of course the one work at a time, like you have to utilize various things. We already knew that this is focusing on one area or one work at once. There are 3 things we can deliver here. First of all, focus, then one work or area at a time, or this is the one thing we have to do in one moment. So we can't be focusing on various things. So there are limited processing capacity, like when you are at your peak of your attention, then you can't focus on various things. And also attention is changing in nature. It often happens now, like maybe it doesn't happen with you, but it happens with the various children, that whenever you are teaching something in the classroom and they are thinking something else. So this is called as the lack of attention. Now what does it mean by attention span? Like you are putting your attention on something, for how long you are doing this. This is called as attention span. Retention of focus at one work for a certain amount of time. This is called as attention span. You have to just utilize your own knowledge, past experiences. These things are not new at all, and I'm telling you the first part, that is development and its characteristics. So that part is very little bit new, and because of that it is little bit more difficult in compared to this part. Aspects of development part is very easy, and these things are our real life knowledge, like in various videos or the shorts on YouTube, or maybe the reels on the Instagram. You can find all these characteristics or terminologies. So let's move forward to fluctuation of attention. What does it mean by fluctuation of attention? Suppose I am making you understand something and you are just focusing on something else. Maybe you are watching through the window that there is a bird. So it means attention is not a constant thing, that for 1 hour you will have attention on one thing. Like, it can't be guaranteed. It can be achieved through your practice. So fluctuation of attention means always losing focus. Okay, so always losing focus, sometimes on the main task or the thoughts. So you are doing something, you are doing one main task and you are always losing focus. It means the fluctuation of attention is there. Now, relationship between interest and attention. So what does it mean by interest? What does it mean by attention? Attention we covered earlier, like 2 minutes ago. But what does it mean by interest? Some interest is something which drives you to do something. Suppose you are a student of political science. Why are you a student of political science? Because you are having the interest. You are having the interest to study various aspects, various terminologies, various theories of political science. So interest and attention, these both things are having a reciprocal relationship. It means when you are having interest, it will lead to you are having the attention to study or to do that work. And whenever you are having attention, your interest will get more and more and more. Like, your interest will get stronger. So it has the both of the things, interest and attention, they have a reciprocal relationship. Both increases each other's. Next, what is acquired interest? So maybe you are doing something and you didn't have much interest in the beginning, but through practice, through experience, you are having much and much and much more interest right now. It means you acquired interest. So acquiring interest means you are acquiring, like you are gathering interest. But if you write this thing for 2 marks in the exam, you will maybe you will be getting 1 or maybe half or 1 mark. To gain the full marks, you have to mention the qualities. Like, you have to, like we acquire, or any child acquires interest through experiences or knowledge or even practice. So these two things are very important here. You have to mention these two. Now, intelligence quotient. What does it mean? It means you have to calculate your intelligence, how intelligent you are. There is one method, there is one formula, that is mental age is getting divided by the real age, and there is a multiplication of 100. So it is actually the calculation. This is what you need to little bit mug up. Intelligent quotient, it means that you are calculating your mental ability or anyone's mental ability through dividing the mental age and the real with the real age, and there is the multiplication of 100. So there are two factors, one is mental age and another one is real age, and you are dividing each other and you are these things are multiplied by 100. Next, what does it mean by interpersonal intelligence, mentioned by Gardner? Interpersonal intelligence, it seems to be a little bit difficult word, or such type of a word we don't hear every day. So try to find out the meaning of the word. In Hindi we say बाल का खाल निकालो. You have to do something like that. Whenever you see one terminology that is little bit awkward, that is little bit unheard, So interpersonal intelligence. So it is talking about intelligence, but there is something like interpersonal. It means understanding others' emotions and feelings. These two things will generate or extract the marks for you. If you wanna write down like in this way that understanding others' emotions, you have to write different qualities. You are trying to understand others' emotions, feelings, and something more, maybe behavioral aspects you want to analyze. This is called as the interpersonal intelligence as mentioned by Gardner. The 8th number question is, what are two non-verbal tests of intelligence? This is something you have to mark up. I don't wanna give you fake motivation, fake promise that of course you can recall in the examination, just read this type of question for once. No, you have to revise it and revise it for multiple times to deliver it. Like if this question appears, to deliver the answer you have to revise it. So first of all, the two non-verbal tests of intelligence. First of all, it is course block design test, and the second thing is Raven's progressive matrix. Raven's, you have to remember the name, you have to remember the tool, course block design test and Raven's progressive matrix. Next, it goes to verbal versus non-verbal tests of intelligence. What does it mean by you are testing one's intelligence through verbal way or through non-verbal way? Try to think by yourself. How can you express something verbally and non-verbally? Verbally you have to express through words. You can use sentences. But what does it mean by non-verbal expression? Non-verbal expression means you have to present an image, a diagram, maybe you have to let the other person watch a movie. So this is the direct thing and the indirect thing. Verbal means using words and non-verbal means using any picture. You have to write these two things in your own words. Let's move forward with what does it mean or what are the differences between motivation and drives. Like we learned this earlier, that there was reciprocal relationship between interest and attention. This is almost the same. You have to just think, what does it mean by motivation. You can't study, you look for motivation on YouTube. When you get motivated, it drives you towards studying, towards your work. Maybe you practice cricket, maybe you practice badminton or anything. So motivation and drives. Motivation is a mental structure, decided behavior towards goal. You have motivation, it is such type of a mental structure that decides behavior towards your goal. And drive means physical needs like thrust. It is a physical in character and the motivation is mental in character. You can write down this thing in this way as well, that motivation is mentally structured and drives are physically structured. Then you can write the example, that for the motivation the example is this leads us to work harder, and the drives are like some physical aspects like I am feeling thirsty or hungry. Now it is self-actualization. Self-actualization need. What does it mean by self-actualization need? Suppose you want to work very hard. Or you studied economics, where there was one terminology, that is efficiency in the anything, like maybe it is the labor or in terms of the resources. You need to gain the efficiency to gain the more and more results. So self-actualization need it means you are working hard in such a way that you have that intention to bring out the best possible outcome from within yourself. So this is called as a self-actualization need, that human works hard to bring out the best version of herself or himself. Then instinct versus extinct motivation. So it is talking about motivation and instinct and extinct, inside and like external factors, inside various factors of inside and various factors of outside or external factors. So instinct motivation comes from inside, like joy or happiness. Through happiness, whenever you are happy, you will love the work to do in a much better way. Whenever you are sad, whenever people will say bad things to you, you are more likely to just sleep and do nothing. So the extinct motivation means here, it comes from outside, like appreciation. Maybe someone praised you because you look very good. So in that type of scenario, you are really motivated to take care of your skin in a much better way. So it is praise or appreciation based. It means it is coming from outside. Now external determinants of motivation, as we just read it, that is maybe someone appreciated you, someone praised you, you got a good score, you performed really well, you got such type of environment where people are really studious and you started to study really hard. These type of things, you can accumulate your previous knowledge and experiences. Through that you can easily answer this question. You no need to mug it up. Education is never about mugging up. You can just analyze the thing. You just need to have that much skill to analyze anything, and you are good to go. You are pretty deserving to get good marks in the exam. Next, what does it mean by creativity? What does it mean by creativity? Anyone is making any content, he is just delivering a lecture. If he does something creative, if she does something, maybe it's about the vocal things as well. Like you can say, I'm very hungry. Your father or your brother or anyone will say, okay, that's good, just eat something. And if you suddenly say in this way, I'm feeling very hungry, is there anything to eat at home? So that other person, maybe anyone of your parents or maybe your brother or sister, they will try to provide you something maybe very handy as well. So this is the role of creativity, the way I spoke, the way I delivered my whatever I want to say. This is called as creativity. Like now we have to come to our educational background knowledge. Like we are appearing for the B.Ed exam, right? Not in the general social studies exam. So we have to deliver something that feels little bit extra, that the examiner will find this is something good. So in this, for this purpose, have to write, combine old knowledge and create something new. So the main thing is I have to deliver my own words in such a way that the other person find it that I am really in need and I wanna have this, like I deserve to have this. So this is said in a good way, that you combine your own old knowledge and create something new. It is called as creativity. So now what are the components? Like you try to analyze, first of all, you try to question, you try to find out new things, you try to maybe okay, let's look it. You are thinking differently. Of course, you are thinking differently. you are analyzing this. There is involved the rapid thinking. You have to think in a very quick way about so many things. That will bring the creativity. You can't be creative just with one knowledge or one information. You need to have so much information that you become creative. Now, differentiated production. What does it mean by differentiated production? You are a creative person. Why? Because the rest of the people who are in the race, they are doing almost the same, and you are doing something, you are outsmarting those people. So your production is being differentiated, and because you are creative, so it also comes under the characteristics of creativity or the components. Let's move forward to convergent and divergent production. Convergent production and divergent production seems to be a little bit difficult, and we have never heard before. What does it mean? There is only one way to think about these 2 marks questions. I wanna share you this little bit trick, that in terms of motivation, what did we find? Like, something is coming from inside and something is coming from outside, right? So in terms of this production, divergent and convergent. So what do we know about the converging plates, tectonic plates, and diverging tectonic plates? What does it mean? It means some plate is coming together and some plates are going away. So try to build the analogy. Like, when this is convergent and divergent production, so convergent means maybe it is a simple, because whenever two plates are coming together, it is creating the fold mountain, it is creating the earthquake. But when there is like the divergent, there is some divergent boundaries, there will be some massive things. Maybe there will be a volcano. The volcano can be there under the ocean. So whenever the volcano will erupt, it will cause tsunami. Whenever there will be the eruption, there will be some what is that? Like various mountains will be formed through that, when the lavas or the magmas will comes together or get hard, right? So convergent means very simple. You just add 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. This type of thinking, this type of information, or this type of thinkings are convergent production, or this type of things are convergent production. And divergent production means critical thinking. It is very simple word. It is critical thinking. Divergent boundaries create critical changes in the surface of the earth, right? So divergent production is like critically thinking that what is women empowerment, what is maybe you can see what is the role of the men in the society. You have to think in a very critical way, right? So these are the basic differences between convergent and divergent production. Now, which are the factors hinders creativity in classroom? Now you have to be the teacher, or you have to be at least the student, that the classroom is pretty much inclusive. How did the classroom become pretty much inclusive? Okay, to understand this thing, we didn't think in this way when we were the children, or we were the students, at least at our school. So now we can link this thing about the inclusive society. How one society becomes inclusive? It becomes inclusive because all the groups of the society, they feel that they are the part of the society. Okay, so another way, women empowerment is there. So what does it mean by women empowerment is there and the society is getting inclusive? Try to think. बाल का खाल निकालना सीखो. जितना जल्दी सीखोगे उतना तुम्हारे लिए ये अच्छा होगा. कैसे अच्छा होगा भाई, समझाओ थोड़ा. अच्छा, let's try to think. Women empowerment, it means we never talk about men empowerment. Why don't we talk about men empowerment? Because women and children, maybe other castes, lower castes in the society, they were more or less in the vulnerable sections, they were underdeveloped. So it means whenever some groups in the society who are underdeveloped, who are underempowered, so we have to bring them, we have to do something, make our policy in such a way that we have to bring them forward, and through this thing we can build a inclusive society. So can we, now we have to think, can we include this thing into our inclusive classroom? Let's see. Factors hinders creativity in the classroom. So the classroom isn't inclusive. We have to incorporate the differentiated learning methods. Some students who understand very critical topics in a very easier way or very quickly, and some students who lack in this way, I mean in this area. So we have to take care about them as well. So whenever there isn't any concept of differentiated learning or teaching experience in the classroom will be like there will not be any creativity, because the students are lacking their basic knowledge. So we have to ensure the basic knowledge, we have to ensure the differentiated learning, we have to ensure that those students who are lacking behind, we have to bring them forward. We have to do something, we have to do some little extra effort, extra care. So if there is another things are like, if there is any rigidity, right, like you can't talk in the classroom. Whenever I am there, you can't talk anything. I need the pin drop silence in the classroom. We have heard this type of statements, sentences from our teacher side. I don't know, but the national education policy that was introduced in 2020 or 2020, it strictly prohibits one teacher, one professor, one lecturer, whoever it is, to make the classroom in like that, where students are having the rigid rules to follow. So there shouldn't be any rigidity, any pressure that you have to perform. Why are you lacking to score? Find out by yourself, because you are the teacher. This is not the fault of the student. He or she is maybe 10 years old. They don't have that capacity to analyze why are they lacking. You are providing all this framework, all these various concepts to study. You are studying for what? You have to implement these things. So if there is any rigidity, pressure, or mug-up learning methods, like you are only provided the mnemonics, you are not being provided the explanations, proper explanations, then ultimately the students will lack the process of learning. And when they won't learn, how will they learn to think? This is a very simple thing. And also lack of thinking, that is the main problem. Like when I don't have any knowledge, how will I start thinking, right? So again, one important tip, that is you can link to the components of creativity with this topic. I know these questions are of 2 marks, but what if the same question is being asked for 5 marks or 10 marks? It is very likely to happen. It can happen. So I wanna, my main goal is, when I was a student in my very beginning, I didn't know how to think. I just knew how to study, how to go through the materials, how to revise all these things. All the informations about all these things were provided to me. But after long time, I got to know something, that if we can think when we are studying, we become more engaged, and it's about the interest and the attention. It generates interest inside of you about that particular thing that you are studying. I'm not feeling at all bored when I am teaching you sharing the information with you for 30 minutes. I'm a student. I'm not a teacher. I'm a student. So I'm not feeling bored, because I am having some interest, and that interest is generating the attention for me. And whenever I am putting my attention here, my interest is getting more and more and more. This is how system can like build inside of you, that will bring out the most level of productivity or result for you at least. Let's move forward to the importance of emotions in education. What does it mean by emotion? For the paper 1 you have gone through these things, like whenever you are emotionally overwhelmed, or if you didn't go through the previous questions or the concepts of the paper 1, that is aspects of development, I guess. Aspects of development, it is, sorry, development and its characteristics. So you can well known to this terminology, that is emotion. What does it mean by emotion? I am feeling angry, I am feeling happy, I am feeling bored, I am feeling hungry. It's not about hunger, but I am feeling like pretty much that I don't want to do this work. So these are the emotions, these are the ways to express our emotions. So whenever this emotional intelligence isn't there, right, or whenever these emotional aspects are not being taken care of any child, any student, what does it happen, what does it like cause inside of the student, or inside of the result, or in terms of the performance? So first of all, we can think this way, that whenever our emotions are not being taken care of, then what happens? Like we become very depressed, we start lacking in our best areas as well. Then what happens? Like when our emotions are something that is not at all valuable, then we lose that interest, we lose that motivation. So again, the previous knowledge can be utilized here as well. So when you are not when you are not getting the proper value of your emotions, then you lack in motivation, you lack in creativity, ultimately you lack in interest about that study that you are doing, right? Let's see how it sounds when, in terms of it like when the content is very good. First of all, there will be the impact on creativity, impact on performance, impact on cognitive development, impact on behavior, and impact on the holistic growth. Because creativity, performance, behavior, cognitive development, all these things will lead to what? Holistic growth. So when those things are missing, there will not be any holistic growth. It is as usual. Let's move forward to attitude. What does it mean by attitude? The person is having very good attitude towards the studies. The student is having very great attitude towards writing the exam on her or his own. What does it mean? Most of the people do cheating in the exam, like they do cheat. But some persons, they are so much having some differentiated thought, or having, we can say, in terms of B.Ed education, we can say that persons are very creative, that they thought that we will study on our own and we will write down whichever things that we study, right? So it means we are having different attitude to look at something. Some people having the attitude to look at the exam that we can cheat and pass. Some person do take in this way that we are going to become a teacher, the teachers, and if we start cheating, what is the purpose then being a teacher? Just to earn money? So this is called about attitude, how you look at the things, your way of giving the topic a new perception, or the way you look at the particular topic. That is it. The two components are likes or dislikes, and which shapes daily habits. The attitude means the way we look at any work, any matter, any topic, and which shapes which are characterized by likes or dislikes and shapes our daily habits. Then emotional intelligence, we all know that when we can understand our emotion, we can control our emotion, we can control can control, understand others' emotions. This is called as emotional intelligence. But in this part, you have to write down about your own. Like, you know that you are emotionally overwhelmed, and you know how to control it, how to balance it, right? This is called about emotional intelligence, that controlling own, understanding and others, own emotions, feelings, and understanding others. Locus of control. What does it mean by locus of control? This is about a choice. This is about a choice that just sometimes ago I have mentioned this thing, that you are having an exam in 2 days. You can't study. You can study if the exam is about 50 marks, you can at least attempt 35 to 40 marks, right? But you choose to cheat, or you think in this way that I'm studying. Let's see if my hard work pays off, if the fate or the luck becomes heavier and I fail. You won't fail if you study in this way, because you know you are connecting everything with your real life examples. So this is called about locus of control, that you are having two choices, that results come from hard work or results come from fate or fortune, right? Let's move forward to natural instinct. Natural instinct. Try to watch into this word. What does it mean by natural instinct? Natural instinct means those areas or those qualities we gain not through by knowledge, we gain not through by studying, but it comes by through by birth. You can say by birth, because we are the human beings. Those things, those thought process, or those particular skills or those objects stay inside of us through by birth, right? So this is called as natural instinct. Now self-efficacy. What does it mean by self-efficacy? You are having the most type of the confidence to complete any task. This is called about self-efficacy. This can be little bit, I would say, what is that? Little bit confusing in the exam hall, and little bit difficult to recall in the exam hall. So you are having the confidence to complete any task, right? And the last question for the 2 marks, that is, what does it mean by curiosity? What does it mean by curiosity, right? What does it mean? It means one child is there, he or she wanna know something, that I have seen the dog, but which is like, what is the name of this animal having the 4 legs, 1 tail, 2 eyes, 1 nose, but looks like whitish, pretty much whitish and bigger than one dog. This is called about curiosity, that you want to know something. Like, okay, I know the fundamental rights, I know the read jurisdiction. So in the read jurisdiction, I know about the habeas corpus. Now there are 4 other reads: mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, and initiative. So what does it mean? What do these all 4 other mean? So this is called curiosity, that you have the eagerness to know something. So this curiosity is interest to learn plus explore other things. So that's all from my side about these 2 marks of the questions. I hope either you have taken the screenshot of various things that I have written on the my digital tab, and if you didn't I would say write down the things whatever I was explaining. I at least hope that you took the screenshot. And this is all from my side. I really hope 2 things from you. That is, first of all, just after watching this video, you will revise or at least go through the 23 or 24 topics, several topics I have mentioned. And the second thing you will do is, just before going to the bed at night, you will try to recall. Like, you wrote about attention, right? Or you studied about attention. So you try to think what does it mean by attention. In this way you have to recall in this way, and it will actually this thing only will help you when you will be there in the exam hall and you will be writing on the paper. So thank you so much for being with me. I hope this video will give you a lot of information and a lot of support in terms of writing good answers in the examination. Thank you so much, and see you in the next